Hi y'all. The importance of sugar beet for real serious long-term survival after the event. Okay, it's something that most people don't think about, but the regular plain generic sugar beet, that's where we get our sugar from. But let me show you, very important crop. Okay, I've got two type of sugar beets in here, and I had planted onions in here, but I planted the onions in April because I was worried about the weather. The weather was unpredictable, so I planted in April just to see what would happen. Right, the last date, the last week to plant, and I pretty much lost everything from the heat, the drought. But look at these sugar beets I planted in October, and look, we're in the middle of June. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 8 months later, they're not dead. They're still growing and they're thriving. So I'm going to show you what they look like. And this was experimental. My main crop was onions, and I lost everything. And I just planted some Detroit golden beets and the regular sugar beets just to plant them. You know, try to get them to go to seed. But let me show you why the sugar beet is so important. Okay, now sugar beet was fodder. That's what you fed your cows and your animals sugar beet in the winter. And this is the Detroit golden beet right here, and the leaf is really thick. It's a thick leaf, and these sell for like $3.59 a pound at the supermarket. I don't know why I'm doing that. But that's the Detroit golden. I'm hoping I could get some seeds out of here. I'm gonna leave them alone and get them to go to seed. And they have an orangey taste to it. It tastes like a hint of orange. But the most important crop, remember, if you're starving, you don't care about what you're eating. Believe me, you're not gonna care. If you've ever been hungry, if you've ever felt the pain of being hungry all the time, you're gonna eat whatever you can find. But so these are the regular sugar beets, and the leaves are edible, and they're thick, just like the Detroit golden beet. Okay, but let me show you what this thing looks like. You know, I've got some in here, and they were just kind of experimental. I just kind of put them in to put in, but I'm going to give you an example why it's so important to plant these. Okay, if you look at the stalks, they got pretty thick stalks. Some of them don't. This is a cluster, right? But this leaf is thick like spinach. It's thick like a spinach leaf. And the bases are pretty thick too. And here's one right here. The bases are thick. You see that? See the size of that base? Look, that's my finger right there. But here's one right here that I wanted to show you. They're still thriving, okay? And look at that. Look at the size of this monster. That's about 3.5, maybe 4 pounds right here, okay? That's a lot of weight, a lot of sugar. These sugar beet has about 20% sugar content and a lot of fiber. And they're pretty thick. I haven't looked at these, but some are thin. There's a thick one. No, that's kind of like medium. But anyways, between the sugar beet and the zucchini, and then if you have your rice and your beans, man, that's a lot of food and a lot of nutrition. That's a tremendous amount of nutrition right there. And remember, you just need a little bit of meat to survive. And you mainly need it for the B12 vitamin. And that B12 vitamin is, you know, your body can hang on to it for about a year. knows how long it lasts before you actually get depleted of it. I mean, it's slowly going to go away. But the sugar beet, look at that. Planted in October, and it's still here. You're not going to go hungry if your soil's right for the sugar beet. I'm going to try planting everything sugar beet this October. I just want this whole thing green. I've never had everything green. You know, like complete rows of green. Now that I think about it, I planted that Detroit golden beet in October also. And everything, it didn't grab. But the sugar beet will grow. And if you're hungry, if you're starving, that's the key. The sugar beet and the zucchini. I'm gonna focus on those two plants next year, and I gotta get my tractor going. Yeah, we know what's coming. You know it's coming. Plant something that's gonna give you food, okay? Plant something that's gonna give you food. And that's the key, the sugar beet. Even if you don't want to plant them, get the seeds, and somebody that knows what to do will plant them. Okay, it's going to be a community effort when this thing goes south.